What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Tim Warren Trading Show. We've got another one lined up for you today. It's going to be a good one. A lot to discuss, both in the charts and on the news. It's going to be a really weird show today. First of all, I am by myself, right? So no T-Shroom to keep me accountable to staying to the point, and no Smay to cause chaos. It's all my own chaos here today. But of course, Washington's creating their own chaos that I have to discuss with you. So strap on in and get ready for it. It's going to be a big one. Like I said, a lot of news articles to cover, both bearish and bullish. And it's a situation going on right now that's very confusing. And I understand the different emotions kind of coming in today for the average trader out there. Anyone in chat right now who voted, I am panicking right now, Tim. I am selling. I understand why you feel that way. I'm going to talk to you about those emotions, but I understand it. Anyone who's buying the dips, again, we're going to discuss that as well. I understand it. I understand why people are coming at this from such different directions, but we're going to kind of cover it and use some logic, some common sense. And ultimately, nobody knows for certain perfectly what the future holds, but we'll do our best to kind of analyze what today means about the future of the markets. Like I said, I'm by myself today. So what you're not going to see that we've been putting up the last couple of shows is my disclaimer that always goes in the beginning. So here you get to hear it verbally. Guys, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing in this content is financial advice. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I'm going to analyze the news. I'm going to analyze the charts. I'm going to tell you what I think is happening and how I'm responding, how I'm going to be using my financial resources to respond. What you do is completely up to you. Please don't take anything I say and say, well, Tim said it's going to happen, so that's like the gospel. For sure, no, that's not how you treat this channel. If you agree with me and you want to do what I do, good for you. If you disagree with me and you want to do the exact opposite, good for you. I'm not a financial advisor. Please don't use me as one. Oh, what a day. What a day it's going to be today. Let's see who's in chat here. Kenny G, Crux of Crypto, some of our mods are in here. Drop in chat. I used to do this a lot more. Drop in chat where you guys are coming in from. Where are you listening? If you're in the United States, give me a state and a city. If you're from a different country, you can give me your city as well. It might not mean as much to me because I'm not a geography wizard. You can give me your country. I'm interested to see where you guys are listening from. If you guys are excited about the show, though, smash the like, hit subscribe. At the end of the show, I mismanaged this. I just realized I can't make any announcements today because I haven't told you guys what to do yet. So at the end of the show, I'm going to give you a phrase that you have to comment down below to win $100. I'm going to have 5 giveaways. We're at what, almost 5,900 subscribers. If we get to 6,000 by the end of the stream, we'll have 6 giveaways on Monday that we'll announce for $100 each. But stick around to the end because I won't tell you the phrase you need to comment at the end of the video until the end of the show. If you're just now checking in, watch to the end. You'll have all the way till Monday to comment down below and get in the running to be one of the 5 or 6 people who could win $100. Let's get into it. We got people from Jax, Florida, a lot of Florida people, Miami, Rockledge, Fairfax, Virginia, Valdosta, Georgia, Detroit, Corona, California. What is that? Wolverhampton, England. All right, there we go. Geneva, Switzerland, Wozen, Ohio. Keep dropping them in there. I'm not going to read all of them, but it's good to see people all across, not just the United States, but the world checking in with us. Let's take a quick look. Instead of looking at, well, let's do the bubbles. I almost gave a little bit of a change up there. Let's look at the bubbles really quickly because there is something interesting on here. Sea of red, right? Sea of red. Let me take my face off really quickly. You guys see a whole lot of red on here with 4 kind of real exceptions, even though technically NEAR is up as well. Litecoin, CoAI, ZEC, and Tau pretty heavily in the green. Aster's technically still in the green as well, but not that much as well. The one that sticks out to me, obviously, is going to be BitTensor Tau over here. Why is this happening? Well, there was a story that came out from Yuma Labs introducing Yuma Asset Management. We're unlocking access to decentralized AI through BitTensor subnet tokens, backed by a $10 million anchor investment from DCG. Digital Currency Group, for those who don't know what that DCG stands for. Yuma Asset Management bridges investors into a new asset class And then there's some more you can go and learn. There's a tweet right now from the Yuma group if you want to go check it out and look into more details. That's the reason why Tau is up so nicely today compared to the rest of the crypto markets. Very glad that Tau is my AI pick. And if you guys are excited about more picks like that, if you're looking for safe places to invest, I'll tell you more about it later in the video. But tomorrow morning's video coming out on this channel, pay attention to it. Again, it's not financial advice, so don't treat it that way. But I will be giving you guys my picks for if crypto had a magnificent 7, similar to the stock market, this concept of 7 companies that are so innovative and about the future. It's like safe long-term investments for your portfolio. What if crypto had a magnificent 7? I give you my 7 in tomorrow's video. Go check it out. Is Tau in it? Is it not? Some of you are going to think that it is because of what I just said. Some of you will think maybe I'm trying to mislead you. Just watch tomorrow's video and you'll find out what that is about. Let's take a look at some charts here. I'm actually not going to jump into TA because I want to look at charts and just show the bloodbath that's happening right now. But I want to save what I think could happen next based off what the charts are saying for later on in the video after we go through some of the news. But you can see here Bitcoin with a nice big bearish day. This is actually the 4-hour chart, so it's not all spread into one day. The daily chart looks a little bit more like that. That's a pretty big bearish candle right there. Again, I'm not going to get into the specifics about where it can go, but there's a lot of blood coming in here. Luckily, though, in our VIP trading group, we did get a trade in last night where we entered here on 121.366. And look at where it topped out right at our take profit. We had a higher one up here, but TP1 got hit here at 122.543, pretty much by the skin of its teeth. And then this big drop has come into fruition. But even in the bloodbath, we were still able to find a successful trade here on Bitcoin. It's down a good amount today, 3.65% on the daily candle. Guess what is even bigger? Guess what is having a worse day than that? Ethereum. Ethereum is actually one of the largest losing altcoins on the day. It's down 7.21% since about 8 p.m. last night when the daily candle opened up. It's all the way down here at $4,000. Yes, prices that we have not seen since September 28th. Guys, it's been about 2 weeks and people are freaking out. Listen, I get it. I understand. You don't like seeing this, but ultimately, this is not the end of the world. Let's look at some other coins here. XRP is back down towards 270. We did have some buy orders we put in for spot buys there, a little bit higher up than this. Looks like we potentially could get even lower on that one as well. But again, I'm going to say some TA later on. Solana back down at 208 right now, coming back down towards some support. Chainlink has breached back below $21 per coin, despite the fact that it continues just to go to the upside in terms of news for future potential. Ondo coming back down below 83 cents. And this one, we'll have to evaluate this one probably a little later. Losing some pretty important support that we've had since back in August. Is that a big problem for Ondo? How about Cardano hovering here at 77 cents right now? Couldn't catch the break. These rallies that happened last week and some change could not hold in the altcoin space. I got to change some support levels or resistance levels in here. That really needs to become farther out here for some resistance there. That's kind of what's happening for the majority of altcoins that we track. For the sake of time, let's go to one more. AVAX. Love me some AVAX. AVAX coming back testing that former resistance level here on 2640 is an area for AVAX. I love me some AVAX. I think I'm going to go scoop some of that up after the show is over. But before we jump into the news, before we jump into what's happening on the charts and specifics, gold appeared back below 4,000. We're looking at stock markets later. Let's get into the news. Let's get into why this is happening. That's probably a question some of you who maybe don't have time to scour the internet every single day, you're saying, Tim, why are we having such a bloodbath right now? Not just in crypto, but the stock market as well is falling. Well, it's because, not of that news right there, that's the human news. It's because of this news right here. I want to pause for a second. Number one, I want to get a drink. By myself today. I have to talk the whole time. My mouth's going to get dry. I'm not going to tell you what I'm drinking either because they don't sponsor me. It's good, though. It's delicious. It's sparkling. I'm going to try my absolute hardest today, as I will in the future, and I've been doing for a while, to deal with political news in a way that I don't want to demonize anyone from either side of the aisle, okay? I don't care if you are conservative. I don't care if you are liberal. I don't care if you are a red-blooded capitalist or a communist. I'm not here to tell you how to think politically. If you want my thoughts on that, maybe I'll start a different channel sometime in the future to talk about that. The point of today's show and the point of this channel is to talk about the markets, talk about the news that affects those markets. And unfortunately, today is one of those glaring days that if you're sitting here saying, Tim, stay away from politics, I'm sorry, politics is not staying away from us. We have to talk some politics. Now, I'm going to tread lightly. Right? I don't want to get YouTube upset with this channel because we think maybe that was something that happened on the old channel. But I will address what is going on and give you my feedback on what I think about it. Okay, so let's talk about it. This isn't just in right now, but it's just in earlier this morning. The bears welcome new trade war fears. President Trump, President of the United States, by the way, says that he threatens that a massive increase of tariffs on Chinese products coming into the United States. Trade wars all over again. Do you guys remember February through April? Remember how fun that was? Let's just take a look really quickly. We're gonna bounce around today. I'm by myself, right? I get to decide what we do today. No Shrum or Smay to keep me on board. This is what Bitcoin alone looked like during the crazy trade wars of, you can say it started in January, but kind of more February to April. We saw Bitcoin collapse. People call the bear market. It wasn't, but 32% pretty much. So a lot of people out there right now looking at this headline and saying, are we about to see the exact same thing happen again? I understand why you would feel that way. Let's be specific, though. Let's take a look at what he actually says. I need to zoom in here. I think I had one more. There we go. Let's look at what he actually said, right? So this was a message put out by the Kabesi letter, a very good profile to follow on X, by the way. He said breaking the S&P 500 falls by 70 plus points. I think it actually later on was up more or down more than 100 points. But he said it did it in seconds after the President Trump published the below paragraph about China. Trump says he's calculating increased tariffs on Chinese products, yada, yada, yada. What did he actually say, right? We need to get through this. And if you guys want to go online and look this up yourself, you can. I actually want to read it to you. I know some of you might think this is a waste of time, but I want to be very clear with people what he's actually saying here. These are the words of Donald Trump. Some very strange things are happening in China. They are becoming very hostile and sending letters to countries through the world that they want to impose export controls on each and every element of production having to do with rare earth elements, and virtually anything else they can think of, even if it's not manufactured in China. Nobody has ever seen anything like this, but essentially it would clog the markets and make life difficult for virtually every country in the world, especially for China. We have been contacted by other countries who are extremely angry at this great trade hostility, which came out of nowhere. Our relationships with China over the past 6 months has been a very good one, thereby making this move on trade an even more surprising one. I've always felt that they have been lying in wait, and now, as usual, I have been proven right. There you go. He had to slip that one in there, right? You always have to get a Trump claiming to always be right about everything. Let's see. Let me find back where I was. Oh, goodness gracious. I've always felt that they've been lying in wait, proven right. There's no way that China should be allowed to hold the world captive, right? Only America should be able to hold the world captive. All right, I'm getting a little political. But that seems to have been their plan for quite some time, starting with the magnets and other elements that they have quietly amassed into somewhat of a monopoly position. A rather sinister and hostile move, to say the least. But the U.S. has a monopoly on positions also. So now, again, let's get right there. Threatening. This is some threat. He's going to be counteracting some of these things that he's calling China out for. Very interesting. That's going to be chaotic as it comes forward. Much stronger and much more far-reaching than China's. I have just now chosen to use them. There was never a reason for me to do so until now. What are those? That's going to be interesting to see. I have no idea. I have no idea what he's talking about there, but it's going to be interesting. The letter they sent me in many pages long and details with great specificity. I think I said it right there first time. Specificity. Am I good on that one? Did I say that one right? Specificity. Each and every element that they want to withhold from other nations, things that were routine are no longer routine at all. I have not spoken to President Xi Jinping because there was no reason to do so. This was a real surprise, not only to me, but to all the leaders of the free world. I was going to meet with President Xi in 2 weeks at APEC in South Korea, but now there seems to be no reason to do so. So, right, so he's kind of canceling some good appointments that we thought might be able to bring some more resolution. That's what you want to hear. The Chinese letters were especially inappropriate in the way that this was the day that after 3,000 years of bedlam and fighting, there is peace in the Middle East. I wonder if that timing was coincidental. So conspiracy theories from the president. Depending on what China says about the hostile order they have just put out, I will be forced as president of the United States of America to financially counter their move. Very important line right there. Very important line right there. Dependent on what China says about the hostile order. He's giving them a position potentially to walk all this back. I'll talk more about that here in a second, but I think that's a very important line right there. Depending on what China says about the hostile order. For every element they have been able to monopolize, we have two. I never thought it would come to this, but perhaps, as with all things, the time has come. Ultimately, and this is where I think a lot of pain came into the markets with how he wrote this. Ultimately, though potentially painful, it will be a very good thing in the end for the USA. What does pain mean? Pain means this is going to get a lot more complicated. If the current trajectory keeps going the way it is, he's saying this is going to become more uncomfortable before things get good. That's where markets are responding to this, I think, the most. One of the policies that we are calculating at this moment is the massive increase of tariffs on Chinese. Key word here, calculating at this moment. Not officially saying it, but again, that's where the word threatening comes in. The increase of tariffs on Chinese products coming to the United States of America. There are many other countermeasures that are likewise under serious consideration. Thank you for attention to this matter, Donald J. Trump. All right, here's the deal. Again, very hard to get into this stuff and not get too crazy political. I think the two big lines that stick out to me, pretty much he says, hey, China, you have a chance to fix this. This is what you're setting out to people. Fix this quickly or I will react to you. He also then says that the tariffs are one of the potential countermeasures he could make. He could decide not to do it at all. What does this ultimately mean? It ultimately means we actually don't know what's happening right now. He did not tell us every single detail about what his future plans are. Why? Why? And this is the fun thing. You don't have to get political here to understand Donald Trump knows the power of his words and what he does. He understands he can move markets in a dynamic way. He understands that millions of people's finances are affected every day by those markets, and his words are very powerful in doing so. Do I think that Trump is the kingpin of manipulation? No, I think there's a lot of people behind the scenes of manipulation. I think it's very interesting. As we're about to look at the charts here in a couple seconds, it's very interesting that we told you earlier this week, more than likely Bitcoin wanted to go to or below $118,000. It has done that very quickly. I didn't know what was going to happen exactly. I didn't know what the catalyst was going to look like. I didn't know the timeline. But we told you, while we remain long-term bullish, it looked like Bitcoin, along with the rest of the crypto space, was wanting to have some form of a pullback. And I told you also that a lot of this was going to play out through worlds of manipulation. The words of a president about a topic that has historically caused mass chaos in the markets is a great way to do it. You wanted to see something that came out before this news came out, though, that I think is a little bit interesting, that kind of backs up this potential theory. Watchdog Guru put this out this morning before the remarks from the president. Spot Bitcoin ETF trading volume surpassed $1 billion in the first hour of trading today. Now, do I know how to connect the dots here? No, I don't. What are the dots? The dots are ETF volume, whale volume, institutional volume, somehow knew something crazy was coming. Then, of course, Trump comes out, lays the bomb. Should I use that word on YouTube? Lays, YouTube, I redact that statement. Lays the surprise that we might be at a war, a tariff war once again with China. We can't catch a break, right? We just went through all the chaos over the summer with conflict in the Middle East. We got some great news on that yesterday. It looks like we might have peace there for the first time in quite some time. And now we want to rehash things with China. Is it real? Is it fake? I think it's very interesting. I think it's very interesting that we predicted something big would happen, having no idea what the news would be. We predicted something would happen that would cause a Bitcoin collapse. And then we have it just like this. And we've hit almost the exact levels we told you. We actually went a little bit down below. Let's come back over here to the charts and at least do some Bitcoin analysis here. Why? Why did we announce that this probably was on the way? Well, if you look at the 12-hour chart, I'm actually curious. We got to go look at the daily chart here in a second as well. We saw, as I think several of you did as well, we saw vulnerability here on the 12-hour chart with that red reversal, the bearish momentum, and then money flow that was kind of giving us a back and forth negative reaction. I told you guys, don't be surprised to see right here as we go towards Bitcoin. Oh, it's got rid of it here. Let's back this up because we are dropping down to 116. We kind of said, hey, coming down here towards 116,700 would be a very interesting spot to come to. It's a form of resistance from this rally back in mid-September. And I'll tell you this, if I were to back this up, let's just go back one candle ago here on the 12-hour chart, there was a major breaker block in this area as well. As we are live here recording this, we have broken that level of support. So what's the next level we're going down to? We also told you, hey, there's a chance we could even drop all the way back down towards the daily smart trail down here as the daily chart starting to look very vulnerable. Let's take a look at that one real quickly. Red reversal, bearish momentum, and it looks like that money flow is in the considering dropping here below that threshold. That would give us a sign that potentially 113 to back as low as 110 could be on the menu. Looking at liquidations here for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at liquidation charts here and back it up just a little bit here. We knew there were some very interesting liquidations right in this area as well. Actually, you see them a little better on the 1-hour chart. So let's back up to the 1-hour chart. There you go. And let's do this. Let's replay and go back in here so you can see just the interesting stuff kind of happening here in the way of liquidations. Come on, load for me chart. There we go. Some big liquidation levels right in here in this camp around 117, 118. The next stop that's really interesting is the support levels of the longs all the way back here at 108. Well, I do think there's going to be some support here on the 110 to 112 range. And I think someone just put in chat as well, there's technically a very small CME gap down there as well. So we're going to keep an eye on that one. That's my next level of support now that we've kind of lost some of those moves. 110, you're looking for the, gotta get rid of liquidations. 110, you're looking for the gap. Let's show you it right in here, right here. When Bitcoin closed here at 109.7 back on September 26th, it reopened at 111.350. That now has become a CME gap to keep an eye on for potential pullbacks here. But for right now, we're not necessarily convinced we're going that low. I still think keep your eyes, on this smart trail here on the daily chart, as there are starting to be some sell signals coming in here. Dip, probably not over, but I think it's very interesting the way it's come to play, the way it's come to fruition. What's even going to be crazier is tonight when we get some fresh Bitcoin fear and greed. If I were to show it to you right now, it's not going to be that big of a deal because last night when it was printed, everything was okay for the most part. Now, I wonder just how far we can drop after a day like today with Bitcoin's price now coming in down here at 116,200 at the moment. And like I said, with us losing the support level of that 12-hour smart trail and the order block that was in play here as well, all of a sudden the next significant level of support is that daily support level up here at 113.5. So more than likely dropping here a little bit lower. But let's critique this a little bit and start to pivot towards a world of positivity. Reasons to not panic and throw your entire portfolio into the river. Let's take a look here. Bitcoin dominance is back on the rise. Oh yeah, let's get rid of this replay. Gonna throw things off. Bitcoin dominance is back on the rise, but yet it's not breaking out of the resistance that we've been telling you about for quite some time. Remember, we told you as long as Bitcoin dominance stayed below 60%, we're going to be okay. And even with all this chaos that has happened here today, we are staying below this level of resistance. Even within the last couple of minutes, we kind of retraced here a little bit. During normal, really, really bad seasons, let's take a look, for example, what happened back in February when things started to crash. You're going to see here very clearly, look at the time period. Let's turn this noise off because that's not needed. Look at the time period of how Bitcoin moved the last time we had a major trade war. And that gives a very ugly drawing right there. Massive increase in Bitcoin dominance. Why? Bitcoin was falling. It's just the altcoins crashed even harder. Right now, while Bitcoin dominance has been kind of sneaking back to the upside, it's not out of control to the upside. It's still staying below resistance. I will continue to tell you guys, as I've told you several times, until we break above this smart trail, until we're confidently back above 60% dominance, I have no panic in me whatsoever about how altcoins are performing. When it comes to them, you can see here Ethereum kind of back down towards levels we predicted as well. When you take a look at the things as a whole, we said, hey, Ethereum could very well make its way back down here towards 4,000, slightly below, back at this order block here. There were several liquidations in that area as well. I'll kind of save you some time. Ultimately, though, Ethereum doing exactly what we called for as well. What does this overall mean? It means, yes, the markets are bleeding right now. The markets are pulling back. Even the stock market today is responding. The stock market was very overexposed. So it's kind of needing this bloodbath. But this is a day where we actually are seeing the stock market respond along with cryptocurrencies. What does this mean? It means we're at a level right now where things could get a whole lot worse. People are going to start panicking. People are going to start freaking out. What does that mean? What does it mean that people are freaking out? I'm a big believer when you don't buy when everyone's bullish. You buy when there's blood in the streets. You buy when everyone else is freaking out. When everyone else wants to get bearish, you need to find a way to turn yourself bullish as we're starting to hit support levels on much needed pullbacks, definitely within the stock market, but arguably even you could say on the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoin front as we're coming back down to support levels and in really just not doing anything bearish whatsoever. Even Ethereum, let's say Ethereum dropped to 3,700, you're still putting yourself in a bull flag position for major moves to the upside. It is too early to be freaking out, running for the hills, and selling everything you have in these markets. I'm more than happy later in the show to come back and look at some of your guys' altcoins you want to take a look at to find out where those support levels are. But the charts, I want to be very clear here, guys. The charts still support, even with the chaos, we still have extremely bullish structure. What we have is a manipulated, consolidated structure that is going to allow for institutions to buy up dips while retail runs for the hills. I'm not your financial advisor. What I can tell you is if you're interested in what my approach is, I'm buying dips and I'm sticking put. As my shirt suggests, you guys can see here. Got to back up. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing right now. My shirt says it all. Let's talk about some other news. Let's talk about some other news that's happening right now and address what's going on. By the way, I didn't reference this one. Another story, 200 million liquidated from cryptocurrency markets in the first 15 minutes. There's a lot of people that knew what to do immediately. It's almost like organized chaos is happening just right. Let's flip the script here. Let's talk about some positivity right now because a lot of people are freaking out. Even everything I've talked about so far on the show, on the charts, and in the news, you're sitting here saying, are we going to repeat what February looked like? Let's just make sure we're reflecting on other things. Like a lot of times people want you to look one direction so they can do whatever they want in the other direction without your knowledge. Let's address some things here. This is another letter, another thing put out by the Kobesi letter. Current situation. This was as an hour ago. Number one, oil prices are below $59 a barrel for the first time since May. Oil's super low. 10-year note yield is down 10 basis points to 4.05%. Natural gas prices are down 5% to new monthly lows. Copper prices are down 5% to the biggest drop since July. The Fed is expected to cut 3 times in 2025. Let's take a quick look at that very fast here. Polymarket, what are you telling me? Is anything changed in the last little bit here? Oh, no. We got it says 92. It's a 95. If you add this together, 95% probability, which makes no sense. How the world is there a 7% chance of no change, but a 3% chance of 50? And that's bad math right there. Either way you cut it, more than a 90% chance still of an October cut as we're speaking here. S&P 500 is still trading, even with all this chaos, is still 32% up in the last 6 months. In the stock market, that is amazing. Is this trade war that's been going this whole time accomplishing all of Trump's goals at once? Again, I'm not getting political. I'm just here reading the reports to you guys about what this looks like. Let's keep moving on. What else is going on? In a rare exception, let's focus on this for a second. This is not something to ignore. In case you didn't know, the government shut down right now, and they told us that we would not be giving any type of data with the government being in a shutdown. No data would come out. Well, turns out something's changed here. In a rare exception, the U.S. Labor Department will publish the September CPI reports on October 24th, even during the government shutdown. This will be published just 5 days before to the highly anticipated October Fed meeting. Let's address that for a second here, guys. Let's again put our logic caps on, think through this. Who's the one who now is appointed the new head of the U.S. Labor Department? Who's the person kind of in charge of this situation and has the decision as to whether they're going to release the data or not release the data? It's the current sitting president of the United States. He's in a position right now where he desperately wants to see the Fed cut rates. He wants those cuts to come down. He told us previously he was not going to release any of this data, but all of a sudden now, well, we're going to make an exception for October 24th on the CPI. Is there something good in those numbers? In case you didn't know, CPI numbers are attached to inflation. What do we need to see from inflation numbers for the Fed to cut more rates? We need to see inflation looking favorable. Either it's coming down or it's staying still. That also could kind of reflect that his tariff wars that people have been accusing him of being terrible about are not causing any long-term problems to the economy. Again, I'm not getting political here. I'm not saying whether that's truth or not. I'm saying coincidentally, trace it, guys. There's a lot of reasons to believe October 24th is going to have some pretty favorable CPI data that will encourage more rate cuts from the Fed. You don't have to like this in the sense of some of you in the chat might say, this is a good thing. I'm glad Trump is doing this. Some of you might say, this is terrible. Trump's a liar. Trump is manipulating data. You can say whatever you want. I'm not going to make a comment on it because I'm not being political. Again, I'm not getting political. The politics is coming to us. I'm just going to break it down for you. Read through the lines. CPI data on the 24th is probably going to look pretty favorable. It's probably going to make Trump look pretty good, and it's probably going to make the Fed continue to cut rates. Who knows? If that CPI cut data comes in extremely low, do we see even more than a 25 basis point cut from the Fed? That I don't know. I can only talk to you about what we're kind of putting together with this news. Let me know. Do you guys disagree with that take? Am I off on this? Is that not exactly what this looks like? This is going to be very favorable data. If this was bad data, why would he allow it to be published? That's just my opinion at this point. That's my opinion. Let's keep going. Let's get into some good news from the institutional world. Breaking this morning, Morgan Stanley has removed restrictions on Bitcoin and crypto investments for all of their clients. Long term, this is a major bullish move. This actually came out, I think, just right before the stuff from Trump. I let people know, hey, this is a long-term bullish move. Doesn't mean price will skyrocket today. Of course, price did not skyrocket today. Price collapsed, but it doesn't get rid of this. Morgan Stanley, who has not been allowing their clients to buy cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, is now going to let their clients do it. Why is that so positive? If all those clients had access to Bitcoin, you could say, oh, if they're releasing something new, they're going to allow people to come in and sell a bunch of it. No. The only way these clients can go is positive. They don't have the crypto to sell. Morgan Stanley's been blocking them from buying it. The only thing they can do is buy it up. This is extremely bullish news as clients warm back up to Bitcoin. Heck, argument could be made, Morgan Stanley, are you a part of this little move to bring price down so that your wealthier clients, along with yourself, can get us a little discount on crypto now that you've decided you want to play ball? Again, a little conspiracy theory here, but either way you cut it, long-term, very, very bullish. We're going to stay along with the high banks and investment world. Deutsche Bank, there's actually two stories like this, but Deutsche Bank today says that central banks may hold significant amounts of Bitcoin and gold by 2030. This, of course, is right after yesterday. State Street said that most institutions and banks are expected to double their Bitcoin and crypto holdings by 2028. What does that mean? It means institutions are nowhere close to ending their buying level. In fact, I'm not saying we won't have pretty dramatic pullbacks between now and 2028 to 2030, but these two stories kind of make me wonder, we've been so programmed within the 4-year cycle to think, man, we get like 1 year of boring price action, 2 years of, 1 year of boring price action, another year of then good bull run, but nothing special, followed by a third year of God candles and ridiculous profit making in crypto, followed by a year of a bear market with major pullbacks, right? This 4-year cycle, 3 positive, 1 negative, then the cycle just repeats itself. I've told you for a while, I think that world is done. I think we're going to see a lot more of what we've seen over the last year and some change. Don't be surprised if the new future of Bitcoin and crypto is going to look a whole lot like what we've seen since back in late 2023, early 2024, where we have some explosive sessions, right? ETF came out, great news. At the time, everyone thought Donald Trump was the greatest thing since sliced bread for the Bitcoin markets. Massive rally. We've had another big rally here more recently with just excitement about the future of regulation and rate cuts. But you have these periods. This one right here was like 7 to 8 months. This one right here, like 3 months. Are we about to be in another one? Who knows? But you have these sideways boring periods for a couple of months where you consolidate and people begin to say a bear market is coming, only to then resume and start bullish again. I would not be surprised at all. I think a lot of people are just expecting like Bitcoin to skyrocket. Let's say your number is like 175, 205. Let's go 205. I think people are expecting this and then a big correction back down towards 94, 100,000, something in that range, and then we'll resume a bull market and go on. What if it's actually a whole lot slower than that? Big move, consolidation, big move, consolidation, big move, consolidation. And it's this process over and over and over again. By the way, this looks a whole lot more like what the stock market has looked like for a long time now. 4-year cycles, I think, are done. I think that what we're going to see happen here is a continued boring, not as exciting bull market as people think in the past. Big moves for a period of time, maybe a couple of short months, followed by long, boring consolidation until we have a massive recession or massive economic problem. I don't know if we're going to see another severe bear market for quite some time. And that's kind of where I'm coming at. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to say that that's how you're anticipating as well. But I think this concept of the 4-year cycle of 3 years up, 1 year down, 3 years up, 1 year down, that's been over for quite some time. I think we need to embrace the multiple months up, couple months sideways, multiple months up, couple ways sideways, probably the new normal until we have some pretty chaotic, terrible economic news. That's Bitcoin. When it comes to altcoins, especially the riskier ones, don't be surprised. Let's say like coins like AERO, for example. Love AERO, but I wouldn't be surprised if you still see 70%, 80% corrections all the time with AERO. Even right now, right? Let's just go back to December of 24. We saw an 88% correction inside of a bull market, right? Altcoins can stay extremely volatile. So these ones you probably do want to be getting in and out, in and out, in and out when the time is right. But when it comes to the larger ones, think Bitcoin, think Ethereum, think extremely institutional friendly. You might not see these major 70, 80, 90% dips ever again. And you're going to see these operate a whole lot more like the S&P 500, like gold for Bitcoin, like Microsoft and Apple and others, that they just don't get 80% drops. That doesn't happen. That would ruin people's lives who invested in them. And now those same people that were invested in those are going to be looking at cryptocurrencies saying, I'm going to get wealthy with these, but we're not going to let it play the same volatile game. By the way, if you want to know some of the coins I'm thinking that could be legitimate holds for that type of a movement, tomorrow, as I mentioned earlier, 11 a.m., I'm releasing my equivalence of what crypto's Mag 7 could look like. That means 7 coins that the institutions are so in love with and have such a great future, you have to watch out for them as being extremely bullish and having very small bear marks in the future as the big money pours in. It's gonna be a hotly debated video. There's gonna be coins on there some of you love, and coins on there some of you guys hate. So go comment on it. Let me know your feedback. What are your Mag 7 coming out tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Let's keep going though in the news because I don't think I'm done. Let's see what else I have to go through. Yeah, there's more bank news. More institutional news. You guys, I don't know if you saw this. Watch our Guru posted. Major global banks are collaborating on plans to launch a joint stablecoin initiative. These banks include Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Deutsche Bank, BNP Paribas. I don't know. That's not a bank that I'm used to. Santander, Barclays, TD Bank, MFUG, UBS, and Citi creating their own stablecoin. Now, I have a couple of questions about this. What does this mean for Tether? What does this mean for Circle? What does this mean for Ripple that I just started their own stablecoin that's doing semi-okay already? I'm not against this. Like competition for me is fine. I think the bigger question, and these are positive questions, good questions. What layer one are they going to use? I think early signs would have to be like, hey, it makes most sense for them probably to build like everybody else has done on Ethereum. But do they choose to go somewhere else crazy? Do they choose to go Solana? I don't. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't think Solana really fits the characteristics of what a large bank is looking for. Do they go Cardano? That one still, I don't think that's the one they're going to go with. I think sometimes Cardano's code is a little too complicated to build on. Again, Ethereum makes the most sense, but could they go AVAX? Could they go SUI? Who knows at this point? So that's my next question. And when I find out the answer to that question, that layer one solution is going to do very, very well. But more good news, right? Competition in the stablecoin world. Banks who used to fight against cryptocurrencies now embracing the blockchain technology and saying we're going to become a part of it so we don't get left behind. How are we reading this news right now, ladies and gentlemen, and then still panicking because Bitcoin is down? What is it down? I don't even know. Let me look at the exact number. From all-time high, Bitcoin is down a whopping 7.8%. I didn't show you guys. I did the work for you right there. 7.8%, and we are freaking out. Okay. All right. Listen, I'm not your financial advisor. You guys freak out however you want to. I don't understand why people are freaking out. Like before you freak out, zoom out. Like how are we looking at this chart? I mean, if I were to have put you in a coma 3 years ago, let you wake up, not tell you any news that's happened, but just say, hey, look at the price action for Bitcoin. Look at what's happened, again, 3 years ago. So we're going to go all the way back to like 2022. You would look at this and say, holy cow, what a bull market. We're not even done yet. You would look at this and say, we're not even done yet. This is awesome. And yet, so many of you guys are looking like the 15-minute chart right now. And you're so worried and you're freaking out. It's almost like this is what they want you to feel right now, to sell before another big rally when we're really only down 7% from an all-time high. But that, you do you guys. You do you freak out the way you want to freak out. Let's look at the last bit of news here. This is a kind of changing subject. I'm not going to call this necessarily bullish or bearish. This is another one. I don't want to get political here. I do not want to get political here, but when the politics comes to us, we have to get into this. I'll give you my thoughts on this, though. Brian Armstrong, I'm going to read his comments here in a second. He's responding to a message from Blockchain Association. This is a message that they just gave following blockchain's CEO, or this is from the CEO following the Senate Democrats' market structure proposal on DeFi. Okay. The disappointing proposal outlined by the Senate Democrats would effectively ban decentralized finance, wallet development, and other applications in the United States, an outcome that's neither workable nor consistent with American innovation. This language was written as impossible to comply with and would drive responsible development overseas. We urge our policymakers to stay at the table, continue to engage each other across the aisle, and ensure this critical piece of legislation supports rather than hinders our nation's leadership in financial technology. Brian Armstrong responded to this. He said, we absolutely will not accept this. It's bad proposal, plain and simple, that would set innovation back and prevent the U.S. from becoming the crypto capital of the world. But legislating is a process, and we're committed to engaging and helping Congress get it right. We will keep fighting for your rights and to preserve economic freedom. Again, I don't like getting political. I don't want to get political. I want cryptocurrency to be one of the few topics, because there's not a whole lot of them out there, where people from both the right side of the aisle and the left side of the aisle can come into agreement and say, we want to do what's best for the American people. We might not agree on taxes, and we might not agree on who pays those taxes, and we might not agree on social structures, but you know what? We want to see people's finances be okay. And we understand that this technology, the future of this planet, we want that built here. We want this developed here. We don't want to send AI overseas. We don't want to send the development of highest technology overseas. We do not want to send the development of blockchain technology overseas. So I urge, because we know a lot of politicians and congressmen and women listen to our show, we urge you, if you are in Congress, please reconsider this bill. Put your differences aside. Do this for the American people. Do not make crypto a Republican thing. Please, Democrats. I'm speaking to Democrats. Democrats, please, please, please do not become the side that is anti-cryptocurrency and financial freedom. Please work together and find a solution. Because I'm telling you right now, I've met people just like this. And some of you might be in this crowd and you can identify with them. I would say, I have met people who have been lifelong Democrats, lifelong liberals, people that voted for Clinton and they voted for Al Gore and they voted for Obama and they definitely didn't vote for Trump in 2016, who have changed sides because of issues like how certain Democrats have treated cryptocurrency. I hate that. I hate that people who have now realized the freedom of our future financially is cryptocurrency, and Democrats are driving them away from their own party on that. I mean, there's a lot of reasons I think Democrats can drive people away from the party, but don't let it be cryptocurrency. This is one of the few issues I still think that it should not have differences based on what side of the aisle you're on. Please, Democrats, don't do that. Don't make this a topic where if you're pro-crypto, you automatically must be a Republican. I think a lot of people in the chat can agree with that message as well. I'm glad Brian Armstrong and what's this guy's name, Mersinger, are fighting back and not allowing this. I mean, they clearly understand crypto way more than any congressperson in there. So keep doing your thing, Brian Armstrong and Mersinger. Keep educating our policymakers on how to keep America as the staple of cryptocurrency. I know some of you guys listening, maybe not from here, maybe you're from overseas. I still welcome. So glad you're here. I still think America is the best place to have the hub for crypto. Do not want to see that. Don't want to see that change. All right. That guy, last 10 recessions was under Republicans. Sure. Okay. I'm not going to argue with you. Okay. I'm fine. I haven't fact checked that information, but I won't argue with you. Again, this is not a Republican versus Democrat thing. I want it to stay that way. Please, please, please don't do it. Let's do some Q&A. Let's do some chat. By the way, we had 500 people in here watching. What are our likes at? I got to refresh this page over here. Smash the like button if you guys are enjoying the show so far today. Only 156 likes. Ooh, that's low. 500 people, only 156 likes. I'm sure it's because you guys just were so entertained with the content, completely forgot the like button even existed. It's okay. Smash it right now. You're good. Make sure you're subscribed as well, because again, at the end of the video, I'm going to be giving you a phrase that you have to comment down below if you want to be entered as a subscriber and a commenter to win $100. I will pick 5 people, unless our subscriber count has grown above 6,000. Let's check that really quickly. What do we got right now? We are at 5909. I need 91 more subscribers, and then we get 6 giveaways. We got to get them before the end of today's video, though. So hit that subscribe button. I'm sure there's 91 people right now watching who are not subscribed to the channel. Change that. Hit subscribe. Hit the like. Drop a comment down below. I have not been able to read chat that much because it's a one-man show. I've been talking the whole time, going through the news, going through the charts. What do you guys want to talk about now? Do you guys want to respond to anything that I said about the news? Do you have a different point of view? Do you have a thought about one of your coins? Do you have a question about one of your coins? You guys got me for about 10 minutes here for some Q&A. What we got up here with you, Tim, on the new channel? What's up, Serge? Thank you so much, man. Yeah, Nick Dunn, like this video and subscribe. Get the channel out there. Guys, if you're newer, you might be saying, wow, I love these guys. I love this channel. Why are they only at, almost 6,000 subscribers? We were almost to 60,000 subscribers 2 weeks ago. Had to start a whole new channel. Some people, I'm sure, have still not found us. We were averaging anywhere between 11 to 20,000 views a video. So I know there's a lot of people out there that like our content that have not come back and found us just yet. You guys have been awesome here so far, because with less than 6,000 subscribers and still all of our content's averaging 3,000 to 5,000 views per video, we're probably one of the best, if not the best channel right now in all of crypto for percentage of views to subscribers. And that's because a lot of you guys are very faithful and awesome. We got to get our name back out there, get the algorithm pushing us to a lot more people. So please hit that subscribe button. Luke Arrogant. Let's go right for it. Who did you vote for? Trying to bait me into talking politics right now. See? Not going to do it, Luke. Good chance. Good try. Good try right there, but I'm not going to do it. Lori says PLUME, question mark. I love PLUME. Let's go take a look at what PLUME is doing here in all of the chaos. And I'm going to share my chart here in a second. I was showing you guys a 15-minute chart. Let's start off here on the daily chart real quickly. Still up from where I bought, back around 8 point something cents. It's still boring though. Yeah, we talked about this one way back here. I think sometime in August when it got listed on that government. Was it August or was it? I can't remember the exact date. Maybe it was July when it was listed by the U.S. government as a coin that people should take seriously. In a nutshell, it's been kind of boring here. You know, you can clearly kind of see some trending. It's not really trending support. The trending resistance is actually the place you can really see a clear trend in action right here. So getting above that will be very important. I think you could also make this statement. You really could kind of flatten this out and say, let's just look for a horizontal level of resistance. This camp right in here in the world of 13.5 cents is going to be very important for this coin to get back above. We were just testing it here a couple of days ago, obviously. And now with all the news coming in, we've kind of brought it back down. What are the other charts here saying? What's going on? We were kind of almost, we kind of had a daily buy signal. You know, I bet you we hit the smart trail on that. Yeah, look at that. Daily buy signal. This is, let's talk a little trading here for a second. We've talked a lot about macro stuff. I still am a day trader. Just so you guys know, in our VIP trading group, even with all this chaos, 2 weeks ago, we had, I think it was like 9 or 10 trades. We're up 270 something percent. Last week, I didn't do a whole lot of trading because I was in Singapore. This week, we're up 51%, right? All wins. We haven't lost a single trade this week. Some of them we had to hit our break-even point on, but those aren't losses. But we're up 51% through all this chaos. One of the reasons why is because of this strategy that I use every single day. Green reversal, bullish momentum, positive money flow. I always take a look up here at the smart trail. I have other strategies to kind of make sure I lock in profits, but that would have worked for me if I had traded Plume on this. Now, I wasn't watching Plume's chart a couple of days ago, so that's why I wasn't in on it. But even that, pretty predictable right there. Good move. Let's take a look at lower time frames, kind of see what on the 4-hour chart this is looking like. We've lost some support. We are coming down towards the green support band. Money flow was somewhat kind of getting, positive, but it's kind of lost itself right there. I really kind of want to wait for positive money flow to kind of guarantee itself back in the spot here on the 4-hour chart before I do any type of leverage trading here on Plume. You're going to get that before you get the daily buy signal again. So love what I'm seeing there. When I say love, that's what I want to see there on Plume. Some other support levels, keep an eye on. Let's go back up to the macro perspective. Yeah, this is a really clean support zone anywhere between where we currently are at 9.3 to 8.6 cents. Big breaker block in play here. So I'd be kind of surprised. I think if you're saying, Tim, where's a great place to accumulate more Plume? Anywhere between right now and 8.6. Big support level right there. Out through all this chaos, it's still kind of holding up right in that little camp, that little zone right there. And I still think Plume, again, is going to have some pretty big backing moving forward. Nothing on this chart is screaming at me extremely bullish or extremely bearish right now in the way of, in the words of like what's happening the next couple of days, next couple of weeks. If you're sitting here saying, Tim, is Plume about to skyrocket again? Are we about to see Plume back up and breaking above 13.5 cents by tomorrow? Probably not. That's not what I'm saying right now. I think the markets have to continue to digest all the chaos that's come out today. But you ask my plans about long-term. I think it's actually, in terms of everything that's happened, this coin's kind of holding up kind of well. People are accumulating it, very clearly bouncing here between like 7 cents and 13 cents. Would not be surprised to hear whales have bought this and sold this and this, and then probably took a little sell of that as well after buying right there. And now they're getting another scoop as well right in here. So just did a lot of drawing on Plume, but no other thoughts on that. No reason to be bearish about it, but no reason to say, oh, you have to invest your entire life savings into it right this second. So, all right. Other questions? Other thoughts? By the way, right after this is over, Crux on the Crux of Crypto channel, you'll get redirected. Stay here. Crux of Crypto has a video coming out on Kita. Someone asked us the other day our thoughts on Kita. I told you, check out Crux's channel. He has a video coming about that right after this show is over. So stay tuned for that. Let's do one more here. And let's do like the lone bullish coin of the day. Technically, there's a couple of them. But BitTensor Tau. BitTensor Tau, of course, I talked about that news earlier. Yuma, partnership with Yuma, something was built on their platform. Broke here. Let's go to my chart. Broke here above some resistance today, actually. We were trading inside of a channel where almost everything else that was in a channel rejected on the channel top and fell back down. We actually skyrocketed all the way up here to almost $400, $398 for Tau here today. We have pulled back to 367. Very normal. Some big volume kind of coming in, kind of clearing that up here. When it comes to daily chart, again, one of the reasons why we thought this was happening, we hit some support. We had bullish divergence, a buy signal, the green reversal, bullish momentum, positive money flow. This is one that we did have a trade on. I bailed early, though. This stinks. Tau is one that I actually had some pretty good win on, but I bailed because other coins were collapsing. Should have stayed in that one, and guess what? I would have hit my take profit on that daily smart trail right there. So that's when I bailed probably a little too early. Could have stayed in a little bit longer. What do lower time frames look like right now? You can clearly see on the 4-hour chart, after riding the 4-hour smart trail with nice support, big explosion to the upside, my guess is it's going to want to calm down. Yeah, we got a red reversal, bearish momentum, negative money flow here. Now, it's going to be hard to come all the way back down to 342. More than likely, along this period, I would be surprised if we don't see this kind of climb up here as well. What I would say is anywhere if you're looking for a short position, great place to enter. If you didn't enter earlier, great place to enter. I would feel pretty certain coming back down towards the support level at 353 is probably going to happen. A 1-hour chart, yeah, smart trail climbing up towards that level. 353. If I was shorting Tau or BitTensor Tau right now in a little scalp trade, I'd be targeting 353 as a possible support level to keep an eye on. And then if it keeps dropping and the 4-hour smart trail keeps its way down, 339 is back on the table as well. As far as liquidations are concerned here, didn't want my drawing tool on right there. So yeah, little liquidation level right there on 360. So dropping to that 353 or so isn't the end of the world whatsoever. I don't think that we're going to see altcoins collapse. I think, especially with now Bitcoin dominance being at the higher range of where I think it should be here for a while, I think I would not be surprised at all. Let's go to that daily chart as well. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see altcoins slightly outpace Bitcoin moving forward. Could we keep going up a little higher and getting to that 60%, closer to 60%? Sure, but this is a bearish formation right here, this rising channel. I think you go towards lower time frames, you're going to see, yeah, there's a little green dot right there, but negative money flow is coming out here on the 4-hour chart, 1-hour chart. Let's look at that one. Yeah, a little overextended. You can see on the oscillators, that money flow is more trending back down. So money was flowing into Bitcoin back here on the 7th, 8th, 9th. Now it looks like money flow is trying to trail out. All these higher highs coming in are giving us what we're going to look at as bearish divergence. What is that? Lower highs on the oscillators with the money flow flowing down, along with higher highs in price action that often leads towards a reversal. So don't be surprised. As I told you earlier in the show, Bitcoin absolutely could drop a little bit lower. It could end up being a wick, right? Could end up being a wick. There's a key word there about could. Let's go back here and look really quickly because I need to check this. My order block on the 12-hour chart disappeared temporarily. Is it back? Because we had a little bounce. There, it's back. Okay. How does this 12-hour chart close tonight at 8 p.m.? Excuse me. Do we maintain this? And was this just a little wick, a fake out? If so, there's a possibility the bottom is in right there. If it doesn't, if we close a 12-hour candle below this, I do think you are looking down here at closer towards 113 to 110,000 as your next level of support. Either way, though, again, my prediction, altcoins, they bled today against Bitcoin. I think you're going to see people pick up some blood in the altcoin space, and Bitcoin dominance pulls back down over the next couple of days. So altcoins absolutely is what I would be looking at to trade. And it's what I'm going to be looking to trade with our VIP trading group. You guys heard me mention it a couple of times. If you want to go deeper with me, spend more time with me and other pro traders, right? It's not just me. We have other pro traders killing it. That number of being up, we're over 300% in our trades over the last 3 weeks with 95% win rates. That's just me. The other traders, they're trading a lot more than me. They're making, I think they've made more money than me, honestly. Help people make a whole lot of money. You can go check out the VIP trading group right now with the link down below. Go sign up. Come check it out. I'll tell you this. If you try it for like a week or two and you do not like it, let us know. We'll give you your money back. If you stayed in it for like 3 months, I can't give you your money back after like 3 months. But come try it out for a week. Guarantee you're going to like it. And if you don't, get your money back. No problem whatsoever. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. 3:59. 3:59. It's about to be 4 o'clock here. It's time for me to give a sentence. A lot of you guys have stuck around. 465 of you have stuck around. If you want to be entered to win $100, let's see how many subscribers we at right now. What do we get to? 5,917. Oh, okay, so it's gonna be 5. 5 lucky winners will be announced on Monday. So come back on Monday's show. Comment down below. What should you comment? What should you comment? Here we go. Comment Tim needs protein. I will find 5 comments that comment Tim needs protein. Those will be our 5 winners, randomly selected. Winners will be announced on Monday's live show, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come back then. Love you guys. We'll see you then. Have a great weekend. Go spend some time with family. Go spend some time with friends. Watch some football. If you want to buy some crypto, buy some crypto. I see people commenting in chat. Don't comment here. Don't comment in chat. Comment in the comment down below after this video is over. And when you're watching Crux of Crypto's video. All right. Adios, guys. Now I have to hit my own end button, so this is going to kind of awkward, but bye.